special. Brilliant. A world draw. That is a goal from paradise.
Hello football fans, welcome to another edition of Football Menu. This is the show that I know you have been waiting up for, because we're going to provide you with scrumptious analysis of the upcoming football matches this weekend in the Premier League, while we're looking at the other matches in the other leagues across Europe. I am your host, Ray P, and of course I'm joined by my co-host, Wayne G. Greetings, Wayne.
Greetings, Ray. Good evening, good morning, good afternoon, fans, wherever you are across the world. Welcome and thanks for joining us on another preview show of Football Menu.
Yes, Wayne, we have had 3 weekends of exciting, entertaining, and drama-filled football matches, and this week will be no different. So let's jump into the 4 matches that we will look at, while the other matches will be on screen so the fans and viewers can see those fixtures. Well, let's begin with the London derby. So it's West London against South London. Chelsea, Crystal Palace.
Chelsea Crystal Palace. This game always gives us some goals, and this weekend, don't expect any less. Goals, goals, goals. Chelsea did the double over Crystal Palace last season, and I expect them to do the same this season, starting with this game at Stamford Bridge.
But Wayne, let's be honest, both teams have their defensive frailties being exposed so far, especially Chelsea in their last match. They would have brought in senior ammunition up front, but in terms of defensive weaponry, they are lacking in that regard. Chelsea conceded 54 goals in the last campaign, and so far they have conceded 6. That's quite worrying. And they have conceded at least 3 goals in 4 of their last 10 Premier League matches. Worrying, quite worrying.
Quite worrying, and speaking about worrying, the last time the Blues lost their first 2 home games in the Premiership was in the 1978-79 season, when they got relegated that season, and they have lost their first home game this season, and this is their second home game against a Crystal Palace team that can strike and strike hard. But I do see Chelsea prevailing in this one, even though they're going to the game 3 places below Crystal Palace and 2 points less than Crystal Palace.
So you're tipping Crystal Palace to edge Chelsea in this one?
No. I see Chelsea prevailing in this one.
Oh, okay. Wilfred Zaha has been involved in 6 goals in his last 12 Premier League games against Chelsea. That's 3 goals and 3 assists against the Blues. But I don't think, based on what we have seen from Crystal Palace, they blow hot and cold. Crystal Palace is not going to come to win the game. They will come not to lose, but surely they won't be set up in a way to win. And I think Chelsea has to be brave. They have to play on the front foot. It's their own match. They have to, put the cobweb out of away from them and just go and play attacking, expressive football.
Yes, and Roy Hodgson, he knows that he can match Chelsea in the midfield. So what I think he's going to try to do is try to isolate guys at the back, because that's where Chelsea's weakness is mainly.
And we don't even know which centre-back pairing will be playing for Chelsea. I don't think the Chelsea fans know, because in the last 41 matches, they have Frank has used 20 different centre-back pairings, and it's quite worrying. But
I don't think Frank himself knows which centre-back pairing he will use this weekend either.
Well, you say you're tipping Chelsea to win that one. Let's jump into the Leeds-Manchester City affair. City will be going up to quickly rebound from what happened over the weekend when they lost 5-2 at the Etihad against a rampant and ruthless Leicester City. They're still having some issues with defenders. I know they got the Benfica captain Ruben Diaz for £64 million. He signed on the dotted line and he will be coming to the Etihad. But when their problems will not be solved by the addition of Diaz.
No, I don't see that happening overnight. Going into this game in 13th position, this is not something fans are used to seeing. City going into their second game of the season in such a position, or their third game of the season in such a position. But we must be mindful of the fact that Leeds, even though they are above City in the table, they have their frailties. They are going to cheat goals. They have conceded quite a few goals.
Seven in fact.
Goals.
Yeah, haven't scored only 8.
Yeah, haven't scored only 8. It's going to be a slugfest. City, they are going for the win because even though they're playing away, they are bruised. They need to catch up back with the top 6 in the Premiership. They can't afford to slip any further behind. And of course, Marcelo Bielsa, he has a big scalp in his crosshairs, and he's going for Pep Guardiola. Whether or not he used to be his mentor, he's going after him on the weekend. Sentiments aside.
Patrick Bamford is the player to watch, I think, this weekend for Leeds. It's a young forward who is leading the line, and he has grabbed himself a few goals so far in the campaign. He will need the service, of course, and he will get the service because Calvin Phillips has created 9 goal-scoring chances so far. And interestingly, 58% of Leeds shots have been on target. That's 19 out of 33. But I see City with the ammunition that they have, the talent and the players, the Kevin De Bruyne, the Raheem Sterling, the Riyad Mahrez, of course, even Rodri. Of course, they also have a Kyle Walker who he made a mistake on the weekend, but I'm sure that he's one of their better players. I think City will pull through. Kevin De Bruyne is the man to watch. He scored 13 goals and had 20 assists last season. And he will definitely need the support from a Raheem Sterling, who got 20 goals. And of course, Riyad Mahrez, who got 11 goals last season. But when you look at the game, it promises to be open football. And that's what the neutrals want. And that's what City wants as well. So let's see. Goals.
I see a 2-2 draw in this one. I see Bielsa going open, ambitious, a Blue City team, and you want to make them pay some more. But I think City has the ammunition just to keep it at a respectable draw.
Okay. Well, we'll go on to another London team in the form of West Ham, who will travel to the King Power to play Leicester City. Of course, Leicester was in a rampant mood last weekend when they defeated Manchester City at the Etihad 5-2. Yes, don't blink. Don't change that channel. I said 5-2, Leicester won. And of course, the man in form is the red-hot Jamie Vardy, who likes the big games. He loves to see that goal open for him to put the ball in the onion bag. Wayne, the Foxes are unbeaten in their last 4 games against West Ham. They have scored 12 goals this season, and the goals have been spread around the team. So it's not just Jamie Vardy. Of course, Maddison is he scored a good goal. He's in form as well. Tillemans is also coming, and of course, I must tell you, Wayne, that player who plays on the right, Timothy Castagne, he is a very good player. Very good player. Just look at him. But West Ham, what kind of game are you expecting from West Ham coming into this fixture?
West Ham, as you know, David Moyes is an unpredictable guy. Given what they did against Wolves, which is quite surprising, I see them playing a little bit more reserved, given that they're going to be at the King Power Stadium playing against an informed Leicester City team. I see them playing a little bit more reserved. And even though Leicester, I do think they will win. I think they will win comfortably, but it's not going to be an easy win. West Ham, though, they are putting themselves line to get some defensive reinforcement in the
Vladimir Kofal from Slavia Prague.
Yes, so I think they'll be walking into the King Power Stadium a little bit more confident than in previous weeks.
I don't think that transfer will come in time for him to be eligible to play. But when you look at even the Hammers though win, they have scored 5 goals and conceded 4. West Ham, they have some forwards that they are just not on the boil at the time. At the moment, we're talking about even Mikel Antonio. He is not consistent enough to carry the responsibilities. Even Sebastian Haller, he is not in any rich vein of form. It's quite worrying for the East London team.
Pause it.
So players to watch here, I'm looking at Jamie Vardy. Definitely, he is going for goal because Jamie Vardy, he retired from international football. He won the Golden Boots last season, and he is really in the form of his life. West Ham, Declan Rice was the subject of much transfer speculation, but he has stayed put. He is one who has really been doing a lot of work for West Ham in the midfield, and I think that this may well be his last season. But West Ham, it's not looking good for them. Let's jump into the big one for the weekend. It's Manchester United against Spurs. Wayne.
This is going to be a tricky game for Spurs. Firstly, we have some tired legs going into this game. But guess what? These guys aren't paid to cry. They're paid to play football, and that's what they will turn out and do on Sunday.
Right. When we look, we see in the last 56 Premier League games between these two teams, of course, Spurs have only won 9, while Manchester United have won 35 and 12 ended in a draw. Man U, they are unbeaten in their last 3 Premier League meetings with Spurs, having won the last 2 and drawn 1. The last meeting was in June, and when Steven Bergwijn scored, and of course the penalty specialist Bruno Fernandes rescued a point for the Red Devils. But guess what, Wayne? None of the last 14 Premier League meetings between the Red Devils and the Spurs at Old Trafford have ended in a draw. Manchester United have won 11 of those 14 and Spurs won 3. So we expect end-to-end action. We expect a result to come from this one, based on the stats.
Yes, I do expect a result to come from this one. I do in fact expect that Spurs will win this game 3-2. There will be some goals in this game. Manchester United suspect at the back. Given how Spurs are going forward, they will be putting in some goals against Manchester United.
Slow.
Play a counter game, of course.
Slow and weak, slow and leadership, lacking in leadership at the back. I think Man U will be put to the sword. Yes, I agree.
Yeah, there will be.
But
and
go ahead.
Go ahead, Ray.
Well, you know that Jose Mourinho is winless in his last 6 away matches to teams that he previously managed. He has only drawn 2 of those matches while losing 4. Quite interesting.
And interesting too is that Spurs, they have only gotten out of a possible 30 points, 9 out of a possible 30 points against Big 6 teams. Manchester United have done a little better in getting 18 out of a possible 30 against Big 6 teams. So going into the game on paper, Spurs doesn't look too good going into the game.
No, not at all, because they have only kept 2 clean sheets against in matches away in their last 27.
But I do see them doing better in this game against Manchester United, given how Manchester United have been.
I'm looking at.
And of course.
Sorry, Wayne.
Yeah, of course. There's a lot to be desired of this Manchester United team. They have failed to ignite belief and hope among their fans for the past season and a half.
But in the way Manu is set up, I think Rashford will be key to their end product. Of course, Martial, he hasn't hit the ground running in terms of carrying over that form that he had at the back end of last season. Um, Greenwood, he is still he has talent, of course. There has to be that synergy between Pogba, Bruno Fernandes, and the front three. Because if not, then Manchester United will pay. And I see them exploiting the flanks to get those players with pace behind the Spurs defense. Promises to be an interesting one. And you say that Spurs will edge it?
Yeah, I see them edging it definitely because I don't see Mourinho being careless against what Manchester United can bring from the flanks in Rashford and Co.
Okay. Well, there you have it. We'll jump right into the other leagues across the continent. In Italy, Lazio will go up against Atalanta. And the big one in Italy for the weekend, it's Juventus against Napoli. Of course, in France, PSG go up against Angers, while the leaders Rennes go up against Reims. Monaco will be away to Brest, and the team in third, Lille, they will play Strasbourg. Bayern Munich will try to rebound from their 4-1 defeat last week in the Bundesliga to Hoffenheim. They will play Hertha Berlin. Leipzig will host Schalke, who sacked their manager David Wagner in midweek. On Monday rather, he was given the boot. Eintracht Frankfurt will go up against Hoffenheim, while Dortmund will try to get their campaign running when they host Freiburg. In Spain, Atletico Madrid will host Villarreal, and Sociedad will host the leaders Getafe, while Real Madrid will travel to Levante. And the big one is between the Barcelona team with all sorts of problems facing the Europa League winners, Sevilla. Win. Interesting football matches this weekend.
Interesting indeed.
In the Champions League, you were saying?
Yeah, and we got some scores from La Liga and Serie A in midweek to bring to the fans. For La Liga, in La Liga, Villarreal, they won 3-1 at home over Alaves. Celta Vigo, they lost 3-0 to a 10-man Barcelona team, as well as Real Madrid, they won 1-0 at home against Valladolid. In Serie A, Lazio, they lost 4-1 at home against an in-form Atalanta team. And of course, Benevento lost 5-2 at home versus Inter Milan, where Romelu Lukaku, formerly of Manchester United, got 2 goals in that game.
Okay. The Champions League draw took place, and we saw some interesting group placings and joins. We see where Bayern Munich in group, the defending champions, will play in Group A alongside Atletico Madrid and Salzburg. Real Madrid, Inter Milan, and Mönchengladbach, as well as Shakhtar Donetsk in Group B. Manchester City, they got a fairly good draw. Of course, they will play Porto and Olympiacos, while Liverpool will play Atalanta and Ajax. Manchester United find themselves in the group of death with PSG and Leipzig, of course, with the young enterprising manager in Julian Nagelsmann, who will be conjecting and trying to concoct something against Manchester United and PSG. Juventus and Barcelona will lock horns in Group G, while Lazio, Immobile, will go up against Dortmund and Zenit. Sevilla will play Chelsea and Rennes in Group E. Lewandowski, Wayne, was named the European Player of the Year 2019-20, and congratulations to him. Pernille Harder was the Woman Player of the Year. She was of Wolfsburg, and she's now with Chelsea. And of course, no surprise here, Hansi Flick being named the Coach of the Year. So, entertaining season last season, and this one has started on a similar path. Well, Wayne, what are your final words?
Final words? Tune in, guys. Tune in. The games are over the weekend. We'll have some really sure to watch our review show after this round of games. And remember, like, share, subscribe, and keep it going.
Okay. Well, I just want to say thank you very much, fans. It's wonderful sharing with you. It's now the end of another show on Football Menu, the show that serves up scrumptious and delicious football meals right out of the football oven, out of the football oven, off the grill itself. Yes, this is the show that bring the deep analysis to you, the fans. Keep it safe. Walk good until we meet again. Peace.